Hi, everyone. Today I'm going to read to you the story of Tenochtitlan, an ancient Aztec urban society. So let's read along. So much amazing stuff here. Okay, today, Mexico City spreads out across a wide plateau in the Valley of Mexico. It is in the center of the country and has an elevation over 7,000 feet. Mountains and volcanoes surround the valley. The region has a montane climate with mild temperatures and a rainy season in the summer. Long ago, a chain of fresh and saltwater lakes and marshes covered most of this valley. Rain flowing down the mountains fills the lakes. The largest of these lakes was Lake Texcoco. This shallow and marshy body of water connected with smaller lakes in the valley, especially during the rainy season. The ancient Aztec arrived in the Valley of Mexico around 1299 CE. This tribe of fierce warriors had come from the north with their king, Itzcoatl, led by a priest called Tenoch. He took them to the banks of Lake Texcoco. A battle with another kingdom forced the Aztec onto an island in the middle of a shallow lake. The Aztec believed that their god, Huitzilopochtli, sent the people a vision, an eagle on top of a cactus devouring a snake. They saw this as a sign, so the Aztec king founded his capital city on the island in 1325 CE. He called it Tenochtitlan, after the priest who had led them there. Aztec society had four classes of people. At the top were the king and his warrior nobles. Below them were common people who lived and farmed on the lake or outside the city. The commoners made up most of the population. The next level of society was the serfs, who lived and farmed the land of the nobles. Finally, there were the slaves, who were mostly enemy warriors captured in battle. The lower classes provided most of the food and other resources used by the ruler and nobles that lived inside Tenochtitlan. The ruling class did not create food or products. Instead, they captured other kingdoms and forced them to pay yearly tribute with gold, silver, food, land, and other resources. The Aztecs based the largest part of their economy on agriculture and trade. Commoners piled up layers of vegetation and mud in the lake and made long, raised artificial islands called chinampas. These floating gardens were surrounded by canals on 3 or 4 sides. Water in these canals naturally irrigated the crops and kept them from freezing when the weather turned cold. Aztec farmers used lake vegetation, household waste, and silt for their fertilizer. They grew maize, beans, squash, and chiles. Aztec women made pottery and wove colorful cloth to trade in the markets. Tenochtitlan was a sacred place for the Aztec. Its pyramids and temples connected the people of the sun, water, mountains, and earth. Aztec rulers sacrificed humans to keep the sun god happy and earth fertile. They designed their temples along east-west lines following the path of the sun as it rose and set each day. Astronomers aligned the huge pyramids with other structures with the movements of the sun, moon, and planets. Around the city, a system of canals connected houses, palaces, temples, and even a zoo. 4 main roads ran north, south, east, and west out of the city. At the end of each was a town of commoners called a calpulli. Farther out, a complex system of roads, bridges, docks, and jetties kept the urban society supplied with goods. Aztec merchants traveled by river to trade with other cultures. In their huge open-air markets, farmers and craftspeople offered their goods for trade. By 1519, Tenochtitlan was the largest urban society in the pre-Hispanic world. It was the capital of the Aztec Empire and home to more than 200,000 of the ruling class. Another 200,000 commoners, serfs, and slaves lived outside its boundaries. The empire soon reached the limits of its resources. The ruling class went to their people and demanded more tribute from the lower classes. This required them to work more or face being sacrificed to the gods. They spent less time creating products and trading in the markets. When Hernan Cortes arrived from Spain, many of the people had already begun to fight back. The Spanish used this to their advantage and enlisted commoners to fight against their king. And that is Tenochtitlan, an ancient Aztec urban society.